Welcome back, boys and some girls. In the Knightling, you play as a mature young sword person training to be a mature adult sword person, because words are fun to use. Now, in all seriousness, this word sword person just jumped at me when I was editing one of the episodes. Is it some unique spelling or is it something else? I don't know. You should decide for yourself. Basic premise, no, I don't recommend the game. Ask me a few days ago when I just started playing this game and I would probably have said, yep, 100% go play the game. And this is why it's actually important to finish the game before you make a judgment. So, what are my actual problem with the game? Number 1, front loading. Everything is just at the start of the game. And number 2, the storytelling. I have a problem with the message and the way the message is being portrayed. As it is pretty clear that one problem is more objective, factual than the other one, your opinion may be a little different than mine, so just have a listen and see if you think any different than me. Let's get the objective facts out of the way. The game has 4 areas. Each one of them is indeed different than the other one, at least visually. I gotta give them credit for the art style, looks good. The first zone has 5 side quests, while other zones have 1 side quest each. The first zone quests are interesting. They are making a tune to help some painter get his views back by actually hitting bells around where the painter is. Or you also have another quest to find some stinky kids to help their dad actually bathe them. Interesting stuff that are not very basic things. While the quests that we actually do in zone 3 and 4 are basically just go collect 10, go collect 24 items, respectively. Zone 2 is the only one that has somewhat of a decent side missions. It is finding out all about Sir Lionstone, who is supposed to be your mentor and your teacher, and again, somewhat interesting, but it's all pretty much downhill from there. Gameplay wise, zones 1, 2 and 3 are just a breeze to go through, with you barely needing to pay any attention to the combat, making you think correctly that the game is simply there to focus on the story and the feeling it makes you feel, which completely fits the art style and the RPG-ness of the game perfectly. But zone 4 makes the game into a bullet hell, where you need to dodge multiple enemies who all have a set of attacks that can stun lock you to death. Now, for the storytelling, this is obviously going to be full of spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers, please skip to the timestamp that are actually on the screen now. But just know that it is extremely predictable and it is focusing on an overused narrative that, at least to me, went past the breaking point a few years back, so just skip now. The story starts as an interesting boy turns to men story, but then very quickly changes into the humans are actually bad for trying to improve technology. Every character profile and personality is told to you, and you're just supposed to believe it because they told you so. There's an instant in the second zone where you are introduced to a military commander who apparently everyone is trying to impress because I guess she's so impressive or something. Sure, why not? I don't know. Why is she so impressive? I have no clue. No one says anything. All her soldiers just say that how amazing she is and how much they wish they could be chosen by her. This is true for every NPC, not for this NPC only. The queen in the city, we meet her only once. We do a couple of things for her, like a couple of quests, and that's pretty much it. We don't know what her motives is. We don't know why Lionstone is so loyal to her. There was just no explanation why characters do what they do. And now for the part that actually bothers me, the message. It is pressed onto you again and again. Our humans are actually greedy and they only want powers for the sake of, I don't know, again, no motives for any characters, simply being evil so you have somebody to play as the bad guy. During the game, it is also told to you that the special tools that people are using are a bad influence, and as such, at the end of the game, you lock all of them inside of a vault that, by the way, nobody explained how they actually managed to open, because the entire game they were stuck with the vault closed, but sure, why not, okay. Every person who has done something bad while under the influence of the curse doesn't pay for their crimes. They are shown to be sorry and sad, and as though we are supposed to feel kind of bad for them or something. I don't feel bad for them. You committed a crime, you actually did an action, you need to be held accountable for what you did. If somebody goes out, drinks and then drives and runs somebody over, do they just take your car and say, oh, tough luck, buddy, don't worry about it, just don't do it next time, okay? We know you didn't choose this. No, nobody does that. They will jail you. So why should it be any different here? And the only reason I'm so involved in this is because I care and because I was actually hoping for a good game. And with the front loading, I kind of feel cheated on. Anyway, after this entire rant, let's return a bit more to the dry stats and just basic systems. Your main weapon is the shield. Using it in zone 1, 2 and 3 is a ton of fun. It is casual with no real expectations. All the actions are a little delay, and I guess it kind of makes sense because the shield is pretty heavy for a little kid to carry, so I can see why it is kind of delay, and in general you kind of get used to the delay in combat, so it's fine after a while. Combat can be upgraded both with new moves for your Knightling or upgrades to the shield, Magnus the Shield passive upgrades. The game also has a ton of puzzles which are decently fun when they are actually working as intended. The problem is many of them can be actually bypassed by simply jumping around and parkouring a little bit, or just hitting walls to get energy and then breaking those walls, leaving quite a few of the puzzles simply untouched. A very simple solution would just be to implement proper walls and make the environment in a way that you cannot skip it. And if you're already talking about game not working as intended, I guess we might as well talk about the bugs and the glitches. The most annoying parts to me were the enemies actually hitting me or at least aiming at me through the walls, or them getting stuck in a default position, like in a T-pose position, leaving me kind of wondering when are they going to attack, like when do I need to dodge and when do I need to block. I just didn't know what was going on. Most of those bugs were simply during the 4th zone, but it's just me that I was lucky enough not to experience them the entire game, or just unlucky enough to have them all in one zone, depending on how you think about it. Beside those, we also have the classic radio towers that you need to climb onto in order to reveal more of the map, those kind of thing. It's fine, it's very basic and fun. They also actually give you the option to buy intel in those same towers, so you don't have to run around the map and look in every corner for items and for collectibles. The problem is, the icons don't really represent where the items really are and where the events really are, so you kinda need to go in a general direction and then look from there. The feeling when playing this game turned from calm, casual and enjoyable into when will this thing end? There's just too much to collect, and it's kind of sad because the art style and the music, when there is music, is actually a very joyful time. So if I was actually their dad, I would just tell them that I'm disappointed with them. Monetization wise, the game costs $38. Once again, it is converted from my currency, so your price may be a little different. And for an additional $7, you'll also get some colors so you can play dress up with your knight if you want. The game took me 21 hours to complete, so I would say that if you enjoyed the game, the price might be worth it for you, but to me, I wouldn't say it is. So let's summarize my review. I have two problems. Number one, front loading. Number two, the storytelling. One is more objective than the other. The storytelling, the bugs, the pacing, all of this just won't let me recommend the game to you. I cannot say go play this game with my experience, but even though I try to stay more objective and actually give you some facts woven into my experience, I hope this helps somebody reach a decision. But that's gonna be it. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, thank you. If you didn't, let me know why, so can improve. Besides, keep us safe and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.